His heart racing, Balduin suddenly heard the girl's voice again, this time in full view of the house. Her words poured forth, loud, frantic, and increasingly incomprehensible. At first, the language that tumbled from her lips was foreign to Balduin, for he was a lad of humble origins, his knowledge of languages limited to the few words Uncle Jonathan's French wife had taught him. But as he strained to understand, he realized that the language he was hearing was indeed French. A surge of recognition coursed through him. The girl was French, and it was evident that she was in that house against her will. Balduin was moved by her plight, and the desire to help welled up within him, a testament to the chivalry that had driven him from the safety of his village. He couldn't simply ignore her cries, he had to act. His thoughts danced with a vision of himself as a true knight, equipped with the armor of legend, a coat of arms to defend himself, and a reputation forged by noble deeds. In his mind's eye, he wore the mantle of Balduin the Knight, a figure who would command respect and fear from his adversaries. But as he stood there, shrouded in the obscurity of twilight, he realized that courage alone did not make a knight. The trappings of knighthood, from armor to sword, from name to reputation, were essential to the role he aspired to fill. Balduin knew he was not yet fully equipped to rescue the girl from her captivity, as he lacked the tools and knowledge necessary to fulfill his knightly dream. Yet, the call to action and the instinct to help burned within him, like the hot embers in a blacksmith's forge. Balduin understood that he had to prepare, train, and build a legacy for himself to become the knight he envisioned. The journey was not just about riding into the sunset, but about forging one's own path, mastering the skills of a true knight, and earning the right to bear that esteemed title. With a heavy heart, Balduin retreated from the grand house, his determination unwavering. He knew that he would return, one day, as Balduin the Knight, to rescue the girl and uphold the code of honor he had set his heart upon. His quest for knighthood had taken a new turn, one that would lead him down a path of self-discovery, training, and transformation. Balduin was not yet a knight, but he had taken the first step on a journey that would shape him into the noble champion he aspired to be. But all he has is an old horse, no one would fear his presence, and he would only put the girl's life at risk, as well as his own. So, Balduin decided to let it go. He was not yet a knight, and the path is really very long. All night long he thought about the French girl. Shouldn't he have tried to help her anyway? He, who had just spent his first day outside his village. As dawn broke on a new day, Balduin found himself more resolute than ever. He had awakened with a clear purpose, to continue his journey toward the fabled city of Camelot. Though, in reality, he was venturing into the great unknown, clinging to the hope that the path he was forging would ultimately lead him to the legendary Round Table. Balduin's journey carried him through several villages, each with its own charm and character. The initial ones he recognized from tales and travelers' stories, but the more remote settlements were entirely foreign to him. His heart pounded with both anticipation and uncertainty as he pondered the prospect of reaching Camelot, a place that seemed as elusive as a distant dream. Resolute in his quest, Balduin decided to seek directions to Camelot from the villagers he encountered. With unflagging determination, he approached the locals, eager to glean any nugget of wisdom that might guide him to his desired destination. However, what he received in return was not the assistance he had hoped for. Instead of helpful directions, people scoffed at him, ridiculing his ambitions and mocking his dreams. They laughed and taunted him, treating his quest as folly. But Balduin, a lad driven by unyielding determination, refused to be disheartened. He knew that every knight's journey began with a single step, and this was just the beginning of his epic tale. It was at the outskirts of a village, where Balduin faced both the cruel laughter and the cold shoulders, that a kind elderly lady caught his eye. Her demeanor was one of sympathy and understanding, as if she recognized the fire burning within him. She motioned for him to approach, and Balduin, ever eager to learn, obliged. The elderly lady turned to him, her gaze filled with wisdom and a knowing smile. It was as if she could peer into his very soul, seeing the grand ambitions that danced in his eyes. At first, she began, they laugh in your face. At best, they ignore you completely. That's how it is when you set out to achieve your dreams. But remember this, young knight-to-be, the day they see you clad in gleaming armor, your helmet visor down, a shield upon your arm, a sword at your side, and riding a steed worthy of a knight, they will hold you in deep respect. None will realize that you are the same person they once ridiculed. Balduin, hanging on every word, pondered the long and arduous path that lay ahead. How long might it be, he asked, until I reach that point, until I am seen as a true knight? The elderly lady's answer was simple yet profound, that, dear lad, depends solely on you. With that, she offered him the guidance he sought, pointing the way toward Camelot. Balduin expressed his heartfelt gratitude, and with renewed determination, he set forth once more. As he continued on his path, the magnitude of his journey weighed upon him. Balduin knew that he had crossed the point of no return, that there was no turning back. The challenges, the trials, and the transformation awaited him on this treacherous but exhilarating road to knighthood. His quest for honor and valor had only just begun, and Balduin embraced it with the determination and courage that would shape him into the knight he aspired to be. Chapter 3: A Knight's Dream. Balduin's journey had carried him to the very gates of Camelot, the legendary city of King Arthur, a place he had dreamed of and aspired to for as long as he could remember. Yet, the sight that met his eyes was unlike the grandeur he had envisioned in his countless tales and reveries. Camelot, a bastion of chivalry and magic, stood nestled amidst an enchanting landscape. The towering, ivory-hued castle seemed to have sprung from the very pages of a fairy tale, its majestic spires reaching for the heavens. The surrounding countryside was a tapestry of lush, emerald fields, where wildflowers swayed in the gentle breeze, and ancient oak trees provided cool shade. As Balduin gazed upon the castle from afar, he marveled at its sheer size and opulence. The castle's walls, seemingly made of the purest alabaster, gleamed in the sunlight. Gargoyles and noble crests adorned the towers, watching over the kingdom with a steadfast vigilance. Banners with vibrant heraldic symbols flapped in the wind, bearing witness to the illustrious history of Camelot. The shimmering waters of the Silver Lake encircled the castle, casting mesmerizing reflections upon its walls. Swans glided gracefully across the lake's surface, adding to the enchantment of the scene. A stone bridge, hewn with meticulous care, connected the castle to the outside world, creating a sense of transition between the ordinary and the extraordinary. But as Balduin contemplated the splendor before him, he couldn't help but feel a sense of disconnection. The city that had been the focal point of his dreams for so long was now so close, yet its entrance was a riddle he couldn't fathom. How did one step into the realm of knighthood, and what was the path to becoming a true knight? It was then that he noticed a boy about his age, leading a noble steed toward the castle's gates. The lad appeared confident, his attire marked by the symbols of knighthood, and Balduin surmised that he must be a knight's page. With determination in his heart, Balduin approached the young page, hoping for guidance and a glimpse of the path ahead. "Excuse me," Balduin began, addressing the page with a hint of awe, "could you help me enter the castle? I have long aspired to be a knight, and I have journeyed far to be here." The page glanced at him briefly, his demeanor carrying a blend of self-assuredness and humility. "I may appear to be someone of importance to you," he replied, "but I am merely a page, and my path to knighthood is nearly as long as yours. However, I have taken the first step on this grand journey." With that, The page continued on his way, leading the horse toward the castle's gates, leaving Balduin to reflect on the immensity of the endeavor before him. Camelot's secrets remained veiled in uncertainty, and the true meaning of knighthood lay shrouded in the mists of mystery. Balduin had arrived at the very threshold of his dream, but the path to becoming a knight, and the steps he needed to take, remained elusive. With resolve burning in his heart, Balduin knew that the journey to knighthood had just begun, and he was determined to forge his own way, no matter how daunting the trials that lay ahead. Balduin wandered around the enchanting grounds of Camelot, his heart filled with awe and trepidation. The magnificent castle, standing as a testament to the very essence of chivalry, seemed to envelop him in a cocoon of wonder. He had ventured to the castle gates, where he had met the young page, and now he was on a quest to unravel the mysteries of this legendary place. As he strolled beneath the towering walls and within the castle's courtyards, his eyes were drawn to a figure that exuded wisdom and contemplation. A man, with an air of quiet authority, moved with measured steps, his eyes seemingly focused on some intricate puzzle of great importance. The man bore the aura of one who held counsel with the king, an advisor who navigated the realm of politics, strategy, and wisdom. Balduin couldn't help but approach this venerable figure, a spark of hope in his eyes. With a touch of hesitation, he revealed his deepest desire. "I have long aspired to become a knight, sir," he began. "I have traveled far, and now I stand before the gates of Camelot. I yearn for a chance to enter, to prove myself and to take the path toward knighthood. But I know not how to begin." The wise advisor regarded Balduin with a keen eye, reading his plea even before he had uttered the words. The advisor smiled gently, understanding the fervor that burned within the young man's heart. "I often take these walks to ponder the most pressing matters," he said, "and your wish, young one, is no less important to you than any matter I've considered. Listen closely." With a tone of sagacity, the advisor shared his counsel with Balduin. "You may spend a few days within the castle," he offered. "You shall be introduced as an apprentice. However, know this, no one will hand you opportunities on a silver platter. It is up to you to earn them through your wit and wisdom. Seize each opportunity without hesitation, for it could be the pivotal moment that determines whether you shall become a knight or return to the place you came from. Judging by your appearance, I sense that your origins may not be among the noblest." Balduin nodded, absorbing the advisor's words with reverence. The counselor accompanied him to the guard stationed at the entrance of the castle, presenting Balduin as an eager apprentice, his destiny now in his own hands. As the guard granted him passage, Balduin couldn't help but feel a wave of disbelief and gratitude. He had entered Camelot, the very heart of his dreams. The stables loomed ahead, the place where he would rest during his time at the castle. A rush of gratitude coursed through him as he considered the opportunity that had been offered. He would sleep among the steeds, beside the loyal animals that served the knights, a humble position yet a foot in the door to his aspirations. Balduin knew that his journey was only beginning, that he had been granted a mere glimpse of what it meant to be in Camelot. The trials and challenges that lay ahead would test his mettle, but he was ready to embrace them, determined to seize each opportunity that came his way. In the land of legends and honor, Balduin was poised to carve his own path, one that would lead him closer to his cherished goal of becoming a Knight of Camelot.